One of my favourite books in the world is World War Z. It tells the story of the zombie war through the eyes of survivors from different places. By the end of the book, though millions of them remain on ocean floors and islands, ultimately the zombies were defeated. Though, as one character states, I'm sure as soon as things get back to normal, and once our kids or grandkids grow up in a peaceful and comfortable world, they'll probably go right back to being as selfish and narrow-minded and generally shitty to each other as we were. This implies that lessons learned by survivors that allowed them to survive will not be passed on to the next generation, possibly allowing the zombies to attack yet again. But I'm not just talking about World War Z today, I'm talking about another infectious creature. Trends. But how does a trend equate to a zombie? Well, have you ever seen a new fad emerging? Whether that be makeup, beauty, fashion, or etc., and does others around you succumb to it, as do you? Most likely the trend flares and apparently dies. Or is it like the zombies on the ocean floor, simply waiting for a return? Though far-fetched at first glance, this occurrence has been documented throughout history and continues today. Trends like flapper dresses, flares, athleisure, and scene hair. Are you glad some of these are not fashionable anymore? Well, sometimes they reanimate like the living dead. These may harm nothing but our eyes, but what happens when the fashion is a little more fatal? There is a dark side to these trends, and they can come back too. One example being the resurgences over the years of the Victorian corsets. The popularity of the corset flares and dies regularly. Think of the crazy figures of the Victorian period, the corset's defeat with the loose dresses of the 1920s, then their massive return in the 50s. Again, their popularity waned, and now they are returning yet again in the form of waist trainers. These cinching contraptions have the ability to harm the body in numerous ways, weakening back muscles, causing acid reflux, bruising or warping bones in the spine, constricting breathing, and exacerbating lung conditions. And that is without going into the psychological effects of seeing your body return to its natural condition once the garment comes off. Another example of a trend is one you probably wouldn't have thought of, since we often think of this as a modern invention. Influencers selling useless or even dangerous products and mindsets. Diet pills, fitness programs, waist trainers, and miracle cures are not a new invention. In the past, snake oils of all sorts were sold, advertised with pretty pictures of pretty women and captions something like, "Stay fit and slim by taking amphetamine." Yes, literally methamphetamine. But substitute one drug for another, and I can almost picture the hashtag-sponsored Instagram post. Nowadays, thousands of people, often young, attractive women, use their platform on social media to become Instagram influencers, which is a fancy phrase meaning I get paid to sell lollipops that make you skinny, semi-illegal diet pills, and essential oils that cure cancer. No matter that these snake oil products are useless and likely very harmful, as this form of advertising is startlingly underregulated. Though this trend of influencers seems as old as time, social media has allowed it to expand exponentially in a very short amount of time, the spreading of zombie infection. We endlessly return to this, appearance. The same narrow, literally, view of what women can or should be as hundreds of years ago. Nowadays, corsets, weird diets, and methamphetamine pills are generally accepted as a weird and destructive part of history, but similar products remain still. Many are rebranded, and as such we have convinced ourselves it is different this time, leaving us doing what we've done for centuries, but with more kale and a superiority complex. Have we not moved past this narrow idea of beauty and femininity? Apparently not. Arms held out in front of them, not reaching for brains, but for the nearest Kardashian-endorsed laxative, the huddled masses shamble onwards. In order to ensure that you don't fall for these tricks, scam products and corsets in disguise as a supposedly less harmful waist trainer, think of it as a zombie. If a zombie has silicone lips and a trim waistline, it's still going to try and eat your brains, so don't fall for it. It has been proven time and time again how harmful they are. See through the shiny repackaging of the same thing and ask yourself, is it really harmless? Is that claim supported by facts or just an opinion? And what is this person's motive for selling it? Chances are their motivation is money. So barricade your doors, stockpile weapons, and meet head-on the rabid, hungry hordes of Instagram worlds. The zombies are back.